Cast, episode 2599. It's Sunday, June 18th, and that means tomorrow is episode 2600, but it's our private accountability meeting for members only. But you know what that means? That means it's the release of P3S7. That's right, tonight at midnight for only 24 hours, you can purchase your mystery. Oh my God, your mystery P3S7 that will be going out ASAP. Do not miss out on that. swolenormousx.com/signature. That's swolenormousx.com/signature. Make sure you load up that browser window. Do not miss out on that. It is going to be live for 24 hours only, and then it will be gone forever. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. Again, it's swolenormousx.com/signature. Get your P3S7 tonight for 24 hours only. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
This is not about freedom. I'll use my power to get them out of the way. Come on.
I got hairy legs.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States, a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normith.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 2599 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, abooshes, abustas, hustlers, and yield hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everston K2, flexing on all you beasts.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and if you're brand new, share the stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Helps tremendously. It's fantastic. Love it. Love the reviews. Makes a big difference. And makes my taint feel all warm and snuggly. You know what I'm saying? All right. So today is our weekly Sunday Fun Day, Red, White, and Swole Q and Anus. So we're just taking questions today after we get the nut busted open. And we'll do that in just a minute. But before we do, tomorrow is our accountability meeting, June 19th. That's tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. So it'll be private for members only. You could join over at swolenormousx.com. And that goes down tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. That being said, let's get into our questions. Let's get into it. Let's summon the fucking Falcon. Get the nut busted open. If you have questions, you can start dropping them now inside the live chat. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Let's fucking get going. Yo. right. I kept on seeing the Make America Swole in the comments. Yeah, today we're liberating the swoleness. Hashtag Swole Liberation. Everyone's like, no, goddamn, I got to spell. Hashtag Swole Liberation. I don't think we've had a Swole Liberation card. We have the apparel over there at papaswolio.com. We have the Swole Liberation. We have the Swole Acceptance. We have Swole Privilege. But I don't think we've had a Swole Liberation card. So now we do. Drop that in the chat. And we'll be giving that away at the end of today's episode. Very nice. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you very much. All right, let's get some questions going. And I did see some people mention P3S7. We talked about it in the pre-roll. Yeah, that goes down at midnight. So I'll just talk about that now. I was going to talk about the Drive Mole Gaining if people have missed that. But a couple of things, actually. If you want to get some Red, White, and Swole merch, if you want to get some Swole Privilege, all 4th of July merch is 20% off. Use code USA at checkout over there at papaswolio.com. So if you haven't gotten yourself some Red, White, and Swole gear, we got the brand new Guns, Bacon, and Freedom, Make America Swole design, mugs, flags, all that stuff. Everything in that collection, 4th of July, use code USA, and you get 20% off, which is fucking awesome. And of course, we have just so much stuff going on. So many announcements. But a lot of good things. We have P3S7. Let's get a nice America for P3S7. So the Signature Series mystery designs, you don't know what they are until they arrive on your doorstep. The 7th release goes live at midnight. So if you go to the website, swolenormousx.com/signature, swolenormousx.com/signature, load up the page, you'll see it. You have 24 hours to purchase it. Just don't wait till the last minute. And if it's not there anymore, then you missed it. So if you show up on Tuesday, hey, I want to get P3S7. I forgot yesterday. Well, you missed it. 24 hours only. So don't forget about that. All right. Now that's Eastern time. So if you're on the West Coast, you can get your Signature Series tonight, at 9 o'clock, but you get my drift. All right. You have plenty of time. I don't care where you are. You know, this is coming. It's every 100 episodes. So you knew it was coming. Same website all the time. swolenormousx.com/signature. So go and check it out and, look forward to sending this one out. You guys are going to love it. Let's take our first question today. We got one from TCAP. Papa Swolio. I've been uploading the videos I discussed here to my old TCAP themed cooking channel. Should I start a new channel for this content? I know we talked about it a little earlier. I don't know what you've done on that channel. I don't know if it's been categorized, if you have categories that you can change. I mean, it depends. You might have some subscribers already, so you could just pivot and just change the content, although it's a different algorithm. I don't know when the last time you posted. People that follow it for cooking stuff, you're posting other things. Most of them might leave or not watch your content or unsubscribe, but you'll find out. It depends on how many people follow that account. So I would drop in the chat how many people are subscribed. If it's a relatively decent channel, maybe you just pivot and see how it goes. You know, it depends. A lot of times I don't think people should. It depends on what you're doing. It's okay to have a theme. It makes sense. You had a cooking channel, but you never know. Some people follow your stuff just because they like your stuff. But of course, if you have something very niche and then you expand, you might lose some people anyway. But I'm not sure when the last time you posted, that's going to matter. If it's been just sitting there for a long time, people are probably not going to be pushed your videos anyway. 1,934 subs. You could just change the name. You could just change the name and delete all the videos and start from scratch and say, fuck it. A lot of them I consider friends. You're changing the channel. If they want to watch your stuff, they'll watch it. If they don't, they can go somewhere else. So you just understand you might lose some people or they'll get over it. You're not making videos for that stuff anyway. You could leave the videos on there or you could delete them, start fresh. If you have 2,000 subs, I would just start posting on that. Why not? Who cares? Change it. Unless you're going to post more recipe videos. Are you changing the name of it? You could change the name of your channel. Start fresh. Who cares? You're going to gain and lose subs all the time. Even channels that are growing, you gain and lose. So let's say you're gaining 100 or 200 subscribers a day. You're gaining 400 and you're losing 100 or 200. You're never just gaining only. There's always a loss. It's just the net is greater. You'll go up, you'll go down. So if you gain 1,000 in one day and you lose 700, then you netted 300 new subscribers. The name will change eventually. Why? It's TCAP recipes. If it doesn't apply, change it now. Just don't wait. Saying Zero, Papa, happy Father's Day. My mom said you were my dad. Ha, it's true. It's true. I tell your mom I said hi.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Tell your mama that daddy said hi. I went out to get milk. I went out to get raw dairy. And I never came back. They didn't have raw, so I kept on looking. I had to keep on going. I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry. Let's take a call. We got one from Umberto. And if you want to submit a call to the show, you could do so at any time. Go to askpapaswolio.com. Umberto Vega, you're on the Daily Sleaze.
Hi, Papa Swolio. So one of my two questions here is, what motivates you from the beginning to start working out, doing gym, all that kind of things? And the second question is, what told you from the beginning to never give up in the gym? Thank you.
It's a little bit more deep than just, what motivated you. I wanted to build muscle. So that's what motivated me. I wanted to build muscle. And then you do so in the gym. So in other words, like what made me never quit? Bottom line, you're going to get results if you don't quit. If you apply yourself, you're always learning, you're trying hard, and you're constantly ameliorating and you're adapting and you're adjusting, you're going to get results. You're going to get results. And the people that get results are the ones that are consistent and don't quit. So the Daily Swole is the Daily Swole, this podcast is this is the embodiment of consistency. The Daily Swole is every day. So we're coming up tomorrow. The reason why I mention it is coincidentally that question and talking about consistency. Tomorrow is episode 2600. So we've been doing this for 7 years straight, every single day. That's as consistent as it gets. And I've gotten better. The show has improved. The show has changed. It's much different today than it was 7 years ago. And I don't know what it's going to look like in 5 years, in 1 year, or in 7 years. I haven't really thought that much about it. The only thing I'm thinking about is just doing it every day. I actually don't have this vision of where I want it to go. This is where it is. It's here now. This is where it is. This is where it's going to go. It's going to go like this. So we're going to add things. We'll continue to have fun with it. But that's why I have results in the gym. It's because I never quit. And I keep doing it and I keep adjusting. And as I go through different seasons of my life, I adjust how I train. I don't train the same way today that I did 5 years ago. I don't train the same way today that I did 10 years ago. I didn't train the way I trained 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Understand, you have to adapt. And you adapt in order to be consistent. And if you never quit, you're going to get results. Because if you're not quitting, don't just go through the motions. Learn, try things, experiment, find what works, and keep on going. So it's a good question. Thank you. Appreciate it. Rodolfo, Papa Swolio, what's a good healthy body fat percentage we should aim for? I want to get big, but I want to keep a good body fat percentage. Well, I don't know what my body fat percentage is. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what the number is. I think you should be lean enough to see your muscle definition. Everyone's going to look a little bit different too. So if you look at two people that are both 10% body fat, it depends on how you distribute it. Some people hold more fat or more water in different parts of their body. Some people are very lean in their upper body, not so much in the lower body. Some people, it's a little bit vice versa. So people store fat differently. It also depends on how you're measuring it. What are you using? Are you doing underwater weighing? Are you using skin calipers? Are you stepping on one of those bioelectrical impedance scales? Some of these methods are very inaccurate. Some are more accurate. But in terms of a body fat percentage for a dude, definitely in the teens. Definitely in the teens. I would say, well, what would you guys say? In general, low, mid-teens? I don't know what I am. I really don't know. And I don't really care. I know when I'm getting leaner. I know when I'm getting less lean. So I just kind of look in the mirror and go by how I feel, because plus or minus a percentage or two doesn't matter for me. It really doesn't. I never found that a beneficial metric in order to achieve. Because it doesn't matter what the number says. It's how you feel, how you look, because how you look is also going to be how you feel. You like to see the results. You like what you see in the mirror. You like to see when you look at your body just around. Also what you feel best at. Sometimes there's this big misconception that the leaner you are, the better you'll feel. And any of you that have been in competition or you've tried to get very, very lean, it's usually not comfortable. You don't have a high performance. You lose strength. You lose energy. It just doesn't feel good. So there's that trade-off. Some people are going to feel that energy crash a lot earlier. It's not a performance. It's not a performance type thing to achieve. So if you're trying to do well at a bodybuilding show, that's different. You need to be very, very lean and dry and dehydrated. So you're not being healthy. You're just trying to get your muscles to show as much as possible with your symmetry, trying to get as dry as possible. But that's not a healthy approach. So those people might be 4 or 5%, 6%, depending, 3% in some cases, 2% elite. But it's not healthy. And it's not something that's going to make you feel good or help you perform. It's not even something that these professional bodybuilders, even with all the drugs, they don't maintain that. They do that for the show, and they're eating fucking cheeseburgers and cake, and they're binge eating right after, usually, because they've just been starving themselves, essentially. And the reason why they're maintaining a lot of muscle mass while they're getting shredded is because of the anabolic hormones. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to maintain that. You would crash out and just get very flat. Your hormones would tank. But theirs don't tank because they're taking tons and tons and tons of anabolics. Saying, Papa Swolio, I think the closest correct answer to that last question is work out until your gym selfies look like pictures of Papa. That's the best body fat percentage.
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
Shampoo my crotch.
God damn it. That's right. The proper body fat percentage is when you look like me. If you don't look like me,
go fuck yourself.
Then go fuck yourself. No, well, that's not true because you're never going to look like me. But you can look like the best version of you. And I'd be lying if you said, if you look better, you're going to feel better. And if you feel better, you're going to look better. It's going to exude from the outside in. Everyone feels better when they look better. When you pass a mirror, you want to see something that you're proud of. Now that's going to change, but it's also a byproduct of your hard work. Doesn't mean you're vain. You're sitting there like, ooh, looking at this, but you should be proud of yourself. And if you're feeling good, you're training hard, you're going to look better. Like you're going to. All right. Rebecca says, been down to 12%, felt horrible. And especially that's different for women too. So understand that the way a dude looks at 15%, that's the way a woman would look at what, 22%? So a female at 12, you were shredded to the bone. That's extremely lean for a woman. It's natural for women to hold a higher body fat percentage. So for a dude and a lady at the same visual leanness, if you look at them like, oh, they're about the same, you see the same muscle definition, the female will be like a few to several body fat percentage points higher, technically, if you test it, and they'll look the same in terms of definition. Loretta, that was a lot of episodes. My first Daily Swole was 1367. You know, tomorrow we're private. So why don't we do this? We do this every 100 episodes. Roll call. What was the first episode? Who remembers their first Daily Swole episode? If you remember which number, Loretta said 1367. What was the date of that? I guess we can do that by subtracting and asking like Siri, hey, how many days ago what was the date 1000 X, Y, and Z days ago? Let's see. Nick, being sub 10% is not fun for men. I've done in-body tests and stuff, and it was like 10, 11% in the past. I mean, I want to be as lean as I want to be, and then whatever that number is. So whatever that number is, that's what I like. So if I'm training hard and I'm lifting heavy, I'm fine holding a little bit more body fat and eating more calories. That's good. I want to be in a surplus if I'm training hard and lifting heavy. If I feel a little bit more bloated, I'll do some fasting. Maybe I'll just eat a little bit less fruit, or I'll maybe not have kefir in the morning, or I won't have as much, I'll just drink black coffee. I won't put raw cream in my coffee. Like I might just, I'm gaining a little bit too much mass or something like that, or I feel a little bit soft or a little bit, I just don't think about it too much. Right now I go based on my performance. I want to have great strength in the gym. I want to recover well. I want to sleep well. I want to feel good. I want to feel good. That's the number one thing. I don't want to have pain. I don't want to be lean and focus on that and have like hip pain or my elbow hurts, but I look lean. And I think that's a maturity thing too, because I'm getting up in years, fam, getting up in years. But seriously, after all these years of training, you get to the point where I want to feel good. I don't want to have joint pain. I don't want to have shoulder pain or elbow pain or knee pain or back pain or whatever it is. I want to feel good. I want my strength to be improving. I want to train hard and feel great doing it. And then whatever my body fat percentage, I'll let that fluctuate as long as it's within a range. I'm not, letting it all go to hell. Because if I was letting it go to hell and I was just getting too much weight or losing too much muscle, I wouldn't feel good either. So that would go back to how do I feel? All right, let's take a good question. Umberto, let's take one from Rick. You're on the line. You're a go, Rick.
Hey, Pop-Up. I wanted to thank you for everything you do, first off. And second, my question is do you have a recommendation for an alternative for aluminum foil? For example, like cooking or baking sweet potatoes. An alternative for something to wrap them in. Any advice I would appreciate. Thank you.
Good question, Rick. Don't wrap them. Why would you wrap them? No need. Good call. Ditch the aluminum foil. Don't wrap them. So if you want to cook sweet potatoes, I haven't had sweet potatoes in a while, but we still make them and mix a little bit in with the dog food. So you take the sweet potatoes, rinse them off, brush them and whatever. Heat the oven up to 400 and just put them on a tray. Make sure it's nice, it's not Teflon, or just get one of those like quality not ceramic, but get a pan that doesn't have any chemicals or phthalates or good coating, So get quality cookware and stuff like that, and just put it on 400 for like 45 minutes to an hour. Boom, done. You don't need to cover. You don't need to wrap them. Don't poke holes in them or anything. Just put them in there. 400 and put them in there for, depending on the size, 40 minutes to an hour. Boom. So there's your answer. Yes, sir. Saying, Papa Swolio, kind of a fitness world view question. With the world looking the way it is, any interest or benefit to do special forces style training? Interest for me, or would I recommend people do? I mean, I think you should be in great shape. Special forces style training in terms of what? Physical training or training with firearms and stuff like that? I mean, if you have firearms, you should train with them and keep them locked up. Be a responsible gun owner, like many of you are, or hopefully all of you are. But what kind of training do you mean? I think you should be able to do things. I don't think you necessarily have to do it all the time in your training. Depends on what you want to accomplish. I think it also depends on where you live. If you're living in the city, or you're living in a city, no training is going to help you. You can't get your own food. You're in a very, a very risky place in terms of being cut off from supplies, no access to fresh water and things of that sort. So no aspect of special forces training or whatever you're talking about isn't going to be good if you're living in a overpopulated area. You said both? Well, I mean, if you should be prepared. I think everyone should be prepared. Have a way to filter water, or have water stores, have food in emergency, generator, things like that. Now you can go complete homestead and start getting into that, but it really depends on the conflict. Because don't forget, if it actually got to that point, you'd probably be fucked anyway, because people are going to, if you have resources, guess where people are going to go? They're going to come to where the resources are. Just saying. You would have to be pretty remote. In reality, you would have to be pretty remote to limit that kind of situation. There's no problem being prepared. You should definitely have options and do what you can. I wouldn't live your life in a constant state of anxiety, because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. But you have a couple options. You go all the way, or you just make the proper adjustments and steps with what you can do. But it's not hard to have backup food and to have a first aid emergency kit and have batteries and have those types of things. But if you live in the city, just go cannibal mode. Nunu, Papa Swolio, do you think it's possible to get visually or visibly muscular / lean in 12 months from a sedentary lifestyle? I'm pretty average, size 6, 135, a little pudge, but I want to be realistic with goals. Thanks, Papa. I think you should set lofty goals. It doesn't matter what's possible. It doesn't matter. Why 12 months? Set the goal to achieve what you want to achieve, but get after it. The time doesn't matter. You need to put in the work. So I don't know what you look like. You said visually muscular lean. Yes and no. It really depends on your effort and how well you execute it. Why 12 months? I don't think people should be realistic with goals necessarily. I think people should fucking put in amazing effort to get amazing results. Don't set boring low-level goals. I think you should push yourself off that cliff and fucking go at it. You can see amazing results in 12 months, especially because you're following this podcast and you have all the information that I wish I had when I started. So if you're pretty average, then your effort needs to be exceptional, right? If you want exceptional results, then put in exceptional effort. You could do it. That's a very vague goal, right? Visually muscular lean. That's subjective. So get after it. And don't forget, your body weight is not going to be necessarily accurate. It's going to be your body fat percentage. So you got to be careful, because you're going to put on muscle if you're training hard, lifting heavy, but you can get amazing results in 12 months. Just make sure you're making these proper habitual changes for a lifetime too. Positive Charisma. Papa Swolio, what kind of bench brand do you recommend? I remember you saying dumbbells and a bench would be good for the 90-day dash. Yeah, it's great for so many things. It's great for mobility work. It's great for strength training. So here's what I would say. It really depends on what you're going to be doing with it, how heavy you're going to be going. So there's a couple reasons for going with just like a general brand bench. If you can afford one, I would get a quality bench. You can get a bench from Rogue. You can get one from Rep Fitness. There's a couple really good brands out there. You might notice that some of the adjustable benches, you'll look at them and be like, oh my God, that's $400 or $500 or $600. Why are benches $800? It's because they're heavy as fuck. And people use them to bench hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And there's a couple reasons why you want it to be strong. One, you don't want it to shake. You want it to be stable for safety and for the execution of the weight. You don't want to get injured, but also the bench can't slide. So if you have a very light, flimsy bench, you're putting a lot of weight, it can break and it can move and slide, and that's dangerous. So I didn't really know this when I first bought my bench. I was wondering why they were so expensive, but then I got a Rogue bench, and it's a fucking tank. It's a beast. And once I started using a really good bench, once I started using that bench, I couldn't go back to, because I had another one. I have another one that was like $200 or something on Amazon. I got it a few years ago. And I put that outside, and I use it for like a couple specific exercise, but I don't care if it gets damaged. And I just bought I got a sick deal on another Rogue bench. I got it for like $250, and the bench is like $500, $600, or $700. So I got it a few weeks ago on OfferUp. It was a great deal. This guy's moving, and it's awesome. And it was a little beat up, so it's perfect, and keep it outside. But it's definitely worth getting a quality bench. But understand that if you're getting a real quality bench, if you're going to be moving around a lot, it can be a burden because it can be very heavy. So if you're not strong and you're going to be moving it out of the way all the time, you might want to get something that's a little bit lighter. But of course, you're sacrificing a little bit if you're getting a more flimsy bench. But you're not going to go wrong if you get one from Rep Fitness, if you get one from Rogue. You can also look on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp and look up benches, because you might find Hammer Strength or Cybex or these commercial brand benches that are $300, $400 or $500. And these benches can often go for $1,000 or things like that. So I would say you want to get an adjustable bench. Sometimes they can go decline as well, but you want to get something at least adjustable. That would be a good idea. And then it comes down to what are you looking to do with it? Are you looking to move it out of the way all the time? Are you going to be lifting very heavy with it? How much you have to spend? That's really always the key question. It's like, hey, I only have $100 for a bench. Well, your options are much more limited than, I have $1,000 to spend on a bench. And then you can get the best one. Just a couple ideas. Ray Lopez, Papa Swolio, not fitness or nutrition related. Come on, wait. It's all right. It's all right, fam. It doesn't have to be. Be nice. Hear him out. But what are your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
Hello, baby.
My thoughts on it. That's a broad question. Can you be more specific? I think it's not artificial general intelligence. So this is still based on just, scraping data and randomizing pretty much everything that's been posted on the internet, a whole network of information and content that billions of humans have submitted over the years. But it's getting there. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it yet. It's very much in its infancy. Do you mean on the economy? Do you mean... What I will say is anytime there's new technology, there's a lot of opportunity to make money. There's a lot of opportunity to use it effectively. Will there be some jobs that get phased out? Yeah, but I think what people also underestimate is how many more jobs will be created from it. So there'll be a lot more jobs that will be created, or there'll be a lot more things that humans have time to do if they're not organizing paperwork, or if they're not scheduling appointments, or doing things that a chat bot or some sort of program that's overlaid on Chat GPT or anything else that comes out can replace. So it's not like people are going to sit around, oh my God, what are people are going to do? They're going to be out of jobs. Well, there'll be other jobs. And the whole point of having technology is that it should leave more time for humans to be more creative and think of things that can improve our world. The problem is we have a lot of technology and ease, and people instead are using it to try to get followers on TikTok by claiming they're a different gender or arguing about stupid shit. So it'll take jobs, but it'll also create jobs. The presidential AI videos. Well, that's going to be a whole different thing. That's going to be a whole can of worms, right? All the videos that are going to be hard to tell who's creating them. So if you can't trust some videos, then you can't really trust any video. And how are you going to prove it? How are you going to prove what's real? Anything that someone doesn't want to see or doesn't like to see or wishes didn't exist, they can just say that it was AI. how do you prove that it isn't? Let's see. Megan, Papa Swolio, Doc says I need to work on strengthening pelvic floor muscles and tendons. What exercises besides Kegels? Just postpartum yoga, hip bridges? Yeah, I mean, all those things are important. Vacuums, drawing in your transverse abdominis work, doing stabilization exercises. That's great. Kegels are great. Glute work is great. Yoga is fantastic. That's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend. Doing a lot of the drawing in maneuver, breathing exercises. Kettlebells are fantastic. Just general strength training also, like lifting heavy weights and things like that. That's what I would recommend. Sounds like you have the whole list. Julian, Papa, follow up from the last roundtable. You recommended front squat with a Smith machine with elevated heels. Where should the bar rest, on my upper chest or the crease of my elbows? Thanks. The crease of my elbows? No, I mean, it should be here if you're doing a front squat. I mean, you can, if you're trying to hit the quads more, I wouldn't even say you have to go front squat. If you're using a Smith machine, just do the elevated heels. What I was really thinking about is like load up if you're doing front squats with a free bar. But if you're using a Smith machine, you can adjust your foot position wherever you are. I would just elevate your heels and allow your hips to go forward when you're doing the squat and really drive your knees over your toes. It'll be a heavily quad dominant. It'll be much more comfortable just to keep it on your high bar squat. If you're doing the Smith, just elevate your heels and focus on your knees driving over your toes. Get a lot of knee flexion. If you really want to hit the quads even more, I would a great superset, or would be to do leg extensions first. Do a little pre-fatigue and crush your quads with leg extensions for a real heavy set before you do your Smith squats. You won't have to load the bar as much, and your quads will be pumped to shit. Bookworm, Papa Swolio, along with walking and weightlifting, what benefits will I get from aerobics? I have belly fat to reduce. Lift heavy weights and improve your nutrition. If you have belly fat to reduce, lift weights. Along with walking and weightlifting, what benefits will I get from aerobics? What does that mean? Like jumping jacks? Jane Fonda? What are you trying to do? What's aerobics? You'll lose belly fat more from lifting weights and lifting heavy and eating better. Aerobics doesn't shred body fat. Megan was told not to lift heavy until that area is more strong, so I guess just more of what I'm doing, but not for gaining strength. Yeah, I mean, doctors are always going to be erring on the side of caution, so just follow what they say, I suppose. The ironic thing is, I was told to not lift heavy until that area is more strong. Well, how do you get it stronger unless you're, you're going to be, it's going to get stronger by you lifting whatever you are able to lift. I'm not telling you to max out, but I'm just saying, in other words, they want you to take your time building it up slowly. So yeah, do what you're doing. And when you feel more confident or they give you clearance to lift heavy, then do that. It's Zolita. Question from Instagram. If you have more questions, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Happy to follow up if you guys want to. If you asked a question, you want to follow up with another part. Papa Swolio, do you count ballet as going to the gym? No, but ballet can be very exhausting, I'm sure. It's definitely not the gym, it's ballet. So there's that. It's definitely exercise. You can lift weights and do ballet. You can do both. But it doesn't count as going to the gym because it's ballet. So it's not the gym. You're still training, you're just training ballet. The gym, you're making sick fucking gains. Hazelnut. Hazelnut. Papa Swolio, I want bulking. What is your suggestion? Eat more food, healthy food, lots of protein, lots of beef, and lift heavy weights. I want bulking. What is suggestion? Dark Boy 4444444444. How to get big chest muscle? Oh, God damn it! These Instagram questions suck huge dicks.
Matt Damon.
How to get big chest muscle? Lift big muscles. Lift big weights with chest. Lift big weights with chest. Do push-ups. Do dips. Chest presses. Incline, decline, flat, flies. Manthan Chutala. All right, Papa Swolio, my deadlift isn't increasing. Any tips? Well, maybe you're doing deadlifts with bad form. Maybe you're doing deadlifts too often. Maybe your training split is ineffective. Are you using wraps? What kind of grip are you using? Your nutrition. There could be a bunch of reasons. But what you might want to do is you need to make sure you're deadlifting with proper form. It could be your training protocol. Maybe you're not recovering enough between deadlift sessions. It's always possible. If you're a moderator and you want to take care if we have trolls, then handle it. There are moderators in the chat, are they not? Caddy Shack, Papa Swolio, do you ever drink? If so, what's your go-to? I used to drink scotch. I haven't had a drink in like 3 years. 2 years? 3 years? No interest. No interest. So no, not anymore. I like cigars, but I have no interest in alcohol. Let's see. Adam, what's the best way to work calves? I think there are a couple cool strategies. I do a combination of seated calf raises. I do single leg standing calf raises are one of the best exercises. I would focus on long holds at the bottom, 3 to 5 seconds at the bottom of the rep, lengthening the tendon. You could also do donkey calf raises. You could do standing on a Smith machine or a standing calf raise machine. But I would train them intensely, and you want to build up with frequency. Some people like training them more often. Some people like training them once a week. It depends. But like any muscle, you want to train them with a good hypertrophy range. So I would say weights where you're anywhere between like 5 and 10 or so repetitions. And one of the best things is to do, Tom Platz did these, you're doing these mid-range holds where you're not at the peak, you're not doing a hold at the top or a hold at the bottom for a stretch, but you're just like holding right in the mid-level, and you load up the weight and you just do a long isometric hold at the end of a set. Not at full contraction, not at full stretch, but right in the middle. It's a great way to hit a different aspect. A lot of people will hold a stretch at the bottom to burn out or at the top. But I think it's a really cool hack. So isometrics, a lot of weight. I like intense, shorter sessions. So not a lot of volume, but intense, and doing it, 2 to 3 times a week. But you have to build up to that. You have to find and try different things. But I don't think for calves, some people do like tons and tons of repetitions. I don't think high rep makes any sense. It's a muscle like anything else, and it's going to grow with a good hypertrophy range. And you could do a single leg without equipment. Most people probably don't need any additional weights aside from single leg. You could do them on stairs. You could do them anywhere. Let's see here. Nunu, Papa Swolio, I can only lift 5 reps while pushing myself. 5 reps. Is that enough? I get confused when you say you aren't training hard enough if you can do multiple sets, trying to build a routine and new to this. Are you officially a member? I would recommend trying one of our programs, Inside Swolenormous X. You said I can only lift 5 reps while pushing myself. I don't know what that means. That's all based on how much weight you use. If you go lighter, you'll be able to do more reps. A good rep range to failure is within like the 5 to 10 repetition range. That's my favorite range. I don't like doing 15, 20 rep sets. Can you build muscle doing that? Sure. It's all about to failure, but you're getting a lot more fatigue without the overload and without the same stimulus as going heavier for less repetitions. You don't need a lot of volume to build muscle, and it depends. It's also, as you get more experience, you don't need as much volume. because you're able to push yourself much closer to failure and get that stimulus with less volume. Because the thing is, as you get bigger, you're also getting older. So as your body has been subjected to more stress, it's harder to create that threshold. It's harder to hit that stimulus that's going to trigger your body to build more muscle. So for example, where I'm at right now, I'm not taking any TRT or anabolics. It's much more difficult for me to build muscle than someone who's never lifted before. You could take someone who's never lifted before, give them any kind of training protocol, and they're going to build some muscle from zero to that point. As you get more experience and as you subject your body to more different stresses over time, your recovery decreases, your recoverability decreases as you get older, but also your ability to create more tension and more force inside the body increases. So it's much more taxing on the central nervous system. So the way I train now is very high intensity, but much less volume. So I can reach that intensity. So I can create the stimulus, but I can also recover between a subsequent workout. Because I like to lift, and I'll lift for a long time. I would, but I would do a lot of damage. I would do a lot of junk volume, and I would do a lot of submaximal, a lot of excessive, just beat down failure work. I'd be lifting lighter. I would be much more fatigued and I would be much more sore, but it wouldn't necessarily be any better in terms of getting me results because it would take me much longer to recover until I could do it again. So instead, I'll just hit a nice peak and then recover, and then peak and then recover, rather than, do a lot of work and then have that long taper of me being sore. I'm able to do a lot of body parts on a cycle and be training relatively frequently every other day, intensely, sometimes 2 days in a row, but then I'll take a day off or 2 days off from intense training, do mobility or some walking or sled work or yoga and stuff like that. Because my workouts are a lot shorter and I'm not creating as much central nervous system fatigue, which is important. And that could be a problem. Because if you're physiologically exhausted, your muscles are going to repair. They're going to repair. Your body is good at repairing muscles, but your nervous system and just feeling fatigued and wiped out, that's going to affect your hormones. That's going to affect all aspects of your life. That's, the psychological effects. That's you feeling, oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, I feel tired. Oh, I feel you're low mood and you don't want to drag ass. You want to feel good. So hit it and quit it. Get in, train hard. Half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on your body parts and what you're doing. But if you're training super hard, you're not going to get any more out of that. You're getting your peak stimulus for that muscle for that day, and then you can get to recovering. You don't have to do 20 sets. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Adam, do you happen to have a workout app that generates weightlifting programs? I would hate to have an app that just generates a weightlifting program. That's so individualized and customizable. But the programs that we have inside Swolenormous X are fully customizable. So if you're interested, check it out, swolenormousx.com. You don't want a randomly generated workout program. You want something that's structured and designed to be customized. That's the problem. You can just look up, hey, weightlifting program on Google, and you'll get a lot of random shit. But a lot of them would work. Especially if you go from doing nothing to doing that. You have to understand, a lot of people, when you're going from 0 to 1, you're going to you're going to get results because you're creating a stress that you never received before. You're creating a new stress. Does that make sense? All right. Let's see. Let's take another couple questions. JJLZ73, Papa Swolio, tips to eat in volume. I really don't like to eat much. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you like to eat. You need to eat. So 1 second. All right. So it doesn't matter if you like to eat. You have to eat. That's why a lot of people that bulk do smaller meals more frequently, because it's very hard to eat nutrient dense food, real quality food, not just you're sucking down garbage weight gainers and just sugar and shit. You need to break up your meals more frequently. So prepare your food, eat them regularly, small, consistent meals, and get it down. Another thing, a lot of people think that they need to gain a lot of fat when they build muscle. It's not true. You just need to be consistent with your protein intake and the food that you're eating. You don't have to be in a ridiculous surplus. So you don't, a lot of times when people, hey, I gained 5 pounds. Yeah, you probably gained 4.8 pounds of fat, depending on when you are in your training and what you're eating and stuff like that. So it's very easy to misinterpret the scale when someone's trying to bulk. You want to see that number go up. You go from 170. Hey, I'm 175. Yeah, you're eating 9 bags of Cheetos a day. Of course you gain 5 pounds. So you want to gain muscle mass. You don't want to gain fat. So the goal is to build muscle, and it's a slow, arduous process. So I wouldn't go crazy. If you want to objectively know how many calories you're eating, make sure you're getting enough protein, about a gram per pound of lean body weight, and you can adjust and subtract and test and see what feels good and what feels good for you and what's working best. And if you're not gaining, it also could be a component of you not training. Remember, you're not going to build muscle that you're not stimulating. So you're not going to build muscle if you're not stimulating the muscles properly. If you're not training properly to demand your body use the resources that you're consuming to build muscle tissue, then that's not going to happen. So it's important that you are actually creating the proper stimuli as well. Thanks for the question. Hope that helps a little bit. Saying, have you heard of a hinge grip exercise where you put your hand in a narrow box and you flex your hand in order to pull it down? Sounds like a Saturday night, if you know what I'm saying. I do know that move. That's a very, you just got to stretch. You got to stretch it slowly. It takes time to get it in there. It's just a time commitment, really. It's just a time commitment. I mean, you got to clear your schedule for something like that. Okay, good question. And no, I haven't. I have to see that. I can't picture what you're saying. But I think it's what I was saying. That's a keeper, saying. That's a keeper. I mean, I don't know if you want to put a ring on that, but you know what I'm saying? Basförwärd. 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 Papa Swolio, how do you get over someone? By getting under someone else. I'm already going to the gym every day, but she's still stuck in my head. Well, you're not stuck in hers. She's out getting plowed, so go lift some heavy fucking weights.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Yeah, go to the gym. Put your head down. Better yourself. Focus on yourself. And become the best man that you can be. Time and gains heals all. Samara. Papa Swolio, is it okay? Is it okay? May I, Papa Swolio, do a 30-minute HIIT workout once or twice a week when you skip the gym? And she does a little like eye peeking emoji. Is it okay to do a HIIT workout once or twice a week when you skip the gym? I mean, it's okay to do workouts like that anyway. What I would say, just to clarify what HIIT training, just use that for like your cardio day. you're lifting weights, for example, I'll do kettlebell swings. That's what Dorian Yates famously did. You know, you can do a couple times a week. I'll do kettlebell swings for 10 minutes or so. I'll do a couple hundred kettlebell swings, just lightweight, just doing a lot of reps. You're dripping, you're out of breath. It's great cardio. You don't have to go running around, and you could do sprints. You could do sled work and stuff, or I'll do VersaClimber. I won't do it for 30 minutes, but I'll do like interval, and I'll do something for like 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. So one, why are you skipping the gym? But I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't replace lifting weights. That's just cardio. So HIIT training, cardio, whatever you want to call it, but high intensity interval training is cardio. It's just like a zone 2 type cardio, which is great. Use that for your cardio, but make sure you're lifting weights heavy in the gym. And then on the days when you're not lifting heavy, guess what you can do? Fam, do yoga, do sauna, cold plunge, go for a walk. If you like running, just make sure you have good form and shit. Go for a bike ride, be active, go hiking, right? No, that's great. That's great. High intensity interval training is how I do my cardiovascular stuff. Burst, like 10 minutes, boom, just blast it with kettlebell swings. Or VersaClimber, I'll do, 20 seconds or 30 seconds all out, and then slow for like a minute or so, and then blast it and do that for a few rounds. All right. Good question. Rave Demir. Papa Swolio, I want to start with the maces and the clubs. Do you have any tips or techniques or workouts? I certainly do. We have all that inside Swolenormous X. We have a few programs for clubs and maces, and a whole series of Swollen Sevens with the mace and with the clubs. But my recommendation from the question here is just to start light. If you start with the club, steel club, they can get on Amazon or on it, start with the 5-pounder. I'm telling you, start with 5. Get 2 of them, but start with 5. Ladies, you might even want to start with 2, 3, or 4. Especially if you're using steel clubs. Start light with a mace, get a 10-pound mace. I don't care how long you've been lifting. I don't care how big you are. I certainly don't care about your ego. Start light, trust me, and progress very slowly. Do thousands of repetitions before you even think about moving up. You will injure yourself, and I don't want you to. All right. TCAP, follow Papa's advice. You'll be glad you did. Oh, my God.
Because
Follow the advice. John, Papa Swolio, I finally joined X, and I'm loving how balls deep the content gets. But where is the wipe yoga? Ooh, that's a good question.
What do you mean, you people?
I forgot. We need to launch a wipe yoga section. Do you think, fam? Maybe I'll get one of those like sumo wrestler fat suits and do some yoga, and I'll go into like a small bathroom and I'll do yoga like in a bathroom, right? In case you get stuck in a bathroom and you're morbidly obese, here's some mobility exercises you can do. John, did you join expecting a wipe yoga section? Did you join expecting wipe yoga? I hope we didn't. I know you say you're excited about how you love how balls deep the content gets. I hope you're not disappointed. You joined 100%. You joined for the wipe yoga. I'm sorry. I don't like breaking a swole man's heart. I don't. We'll get that going for you, John. Everyone, wipe yoga. Is it excuse me. Pedro says, is it right next to the intermittent fasting coloring book? Yeah, it is. The intermittent fasting coloring book, every page is just a different middle finger, and you can color it in with different shades. You could choose your own melanin content. It's just a big fucking middle finger. It alternates with middle fingers and just the zipper face emoji. Just shut your fucking mouth. Just, yeah. All right, fam. Here we go. Great Q and anus. Reminder. I'm just going to do it again. We got to talk about this before we wrap up. Big announcement tonight at midnight. Swolenormousx.com/signature. We have the signature series. P3S7, Gorillas. Let's get America. And let's get an Inconceivable.
Inconceivable!
That's already number 7. So tonight at midnight for 24 hours, you can get the signature series, but it's only available tomorrow. It's only available on Monday because that's the day of episode 2600. But of course, it is private. So tomorrow is the accountability meeting. It just so happens, there's the DWG. Actually, I'll talk about this for a second. If you missed the Dry Mulgaining, put those man boobies away. That's available now in Swole TV if you missed that in overtime on Friday. But tomorrow is our accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time. So we'll be right here in the Daily Swole Telegram chat for the accountability meeting. And we'll talk more about it then. But of course, at midnight tonight, swolenormousx.com/signature, you can jump on that. So you can have that page up. And of course, or if you want to get a good night's sleep, you don't have to be up at midnight, but midnight Eastern time. So it's 9 p.m. Pacific. But tomorrow will be available, but only for tomorrow. So until midnight tomorrow night, midnight to midnight on Monday. All right. P3S7. Let's give away today's Swole card. Swole Liberation. Let's see what we got here. Falcon, take us away. Let's fucking go. Come on now. Liberates against. Who wants those gains liberated? Scroll. No. Oh, some people. Michelle Clifford, Swole Liberation. Congratulations. Well, that's fantastic, Michelle. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 25 schneidischnein. In the subject, your mailing address. In the body of the email. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some fucking shit? Michelle, congratulations.
I was kidding! I was only kidding!
Michelle Clifford, Mashell with an A, Mashell Dawson, says it's rigged. So, Michelle won, Mashell is not Happies. Well, your mother picked the wrong vowel, Mashell. Maybe you'll win next time. Just saying. Your mom picked the wrong vowel, so blame her. Thank you, Michelle. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Everyone's emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
All right, everyone wins. Everyone wins every day, all right? I wish everyone could win every day. I'll just send Swole cards to everyone that wants one every fucking day, and then it won't be special anymore. Not easy for me either, man. A lot of pressure. Isn't that right, Freddie? You got pressure? I know, Freddie. I know. Tainted boy, oh tainted man. My tainted boy.
Your father was a woman!
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Shut up, bitch!
A newt.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie. It's all bullshit! All of it!
Coast to coast. Hey, all right, Mate. Thank you so much, fam, for being here. Oh my God, it was nice at the bazaar. At the bazaar, crank up that house. God, the fucking torque. Oh shit, I need a massage after cranking up that beast, fam. It just grows every day. I'm gonna need like a cart to drag that shit around, fam. Tonight at midnight, we are just 3 hours away. Head on over to swolenormousx.com/signature. Jump on that shit. Get ready. It's going to be awesome. They're always awesome, but this one's going to be extra fucking awesome. Extra fucking awesome. So tomorrow, we'll see you at 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're ready to join the fam today, check us out, swolenormousx.com. And we'll see you tomorrow at the meeting. P3S7. Let's fucking go. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollie.